the final film in the franchise. Well, at the time of this recording, I finally forced myself to watch Leatherface. And we're going to talk about why I forced myself to. Hence, keyword force, because I don't like this movie. But I remember seeing this movie when it first released and hating it. I mean, I didn't enjoy a single aspect of it, but with a more clear understanding of film and filmmaking, has my opinion changed? Well, spoiler alert, not really. Let's set this straight. This is supposed to be, keyword supposed to be, a prequel to the original film, which, could be unique, it could be cool, but this film is far from it. So let's set the stage. The film begins with a young Jedediah, aka future Leatherface, celebrating his birthday. And guess what his family gives him? A chainsaw. Get it, guys? Because it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. God, it's such a cliche, setup. But the family pressures him into killing someone. He refuses, and it cuts to another scene of the Sawyer family killing a teenager with no real hard evidence that they did it. The sheriff takes Jed into custody because the mother is deemed unfit. Time skip to 10 years in the future. Jed is now in a mental institution, which is another cliche thing. But here is the only interesting thing about this film: the institution changes their patients' names to protect them. So we, as the audience, don't know who Jed is for most of the film. It's an interesting take that ultimately doesn't work for me, but we'll get to that later. So, to make this short, the inmates break out, and the film becomes a psychopathic road trip movie with a bunch of inmates, and one becomes the future Leatherface. So, what do I like about it? Well, not much, but I enjoyed the whole road trip aspect, of it. Like, there is no real slasher movie villain constantly on the move. Like, Bride of Chucky is the only one that quickly comes to mind. And this movie is bloody and gore-filled. It doesn't shy away from the violence, but that's really where my enjoyment for Leatherface ends. What made me dislike it so much? I hate the characterization of Leatherface in this, or Jedediah, because he technically is not Leatherface yet. Because for me, there's no possible way I could see this version of the character growing into the Leatherface from the original movie. I just don't see it. They feel like two completely different characters. For example, the Chucky TV series, which is fantastic, go watch it, support it, delves into Chucky's past. And I'm like, yeah, that's Charles Lee Ray, that's Chucky. But I never once said, yeah, that's Leatherface. And that's a massive problem, especially when you're doing a prequel. Like, you should be able to recognize who the story is telling. Despite the pacing being fast and frantic, I never cared for any of these characters. They're all either grade A scumbags or we don't get enough time to learn about them. And it's a frustrating combo. So when people are getting killed or harmed, I'm just sitting there like, okay, like I'm supposed to care, but I just don't. This film also doesn't really feel like a Texas Chainsaw movie. It's not gritty or dirty or scary or intense. It just like exists in this void of film that a lot of slasher films or slasher villains have one or two of those movies, and this is the one for Leatherface. And before I wrap this up, one little thing that made me laugh. In the film, the sheriff is chasing down the characters and he starts firing his gun. It's a revolver. It only holds 6 bullets, so you have to reload it. Well, he shoots like 12 shots without reloading it, and I just started cackling seeing that because a lot of films do it and a lot of shows do it, but it's just so blatant in this that I just started laughing. But yeah, I don't like this movie. And if you do, that's great. That's awesome. It's all personal opinion. but this film's just not for me. So, like always, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Keep trying to do better and keep being good people.